Hey, you guys, come on in, come on in. Great morning, great morning. Come on in. Let me share some stuff with you. Yes, it is Saturday morning. Happy Sabbath. Yes, super excited for today. Let me know who's here and where you're tuning in from. Who's here and where you're tuning in from. Great morning. Oh my goodness. Yes. So listen, you guys. Today I'm talking about life more abundant, life more abundant. And I'm going to talk about this for a number of reasons, but one of which is that sometimes that we just get so focused on surviving life that we don't live it, let alone live it abundantly. In John chapter 10, verse 10, Jesus says, the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. I come that they may have life and have life more abundantly. And when I think about that abundantly, right? First of all, just having life, right? Not just living, but really having life, knowing that we have control of our lives in the sense that there are things that we can choose, things that we can do in order to increase the quality of our life. But then to have life more abundantly, that means in excess, right? Have more of life, like more laughter, more love, more joy. Like God really wants us to be in a space where we can really live this life that God has ordained for us. Now, we miss it a lot of times because we get caught up in surviving. We're focused on surviving. And so in our survival, we miss the move and the hand of God. Let me see. I'm trying to see something. But I don't know about you guys, but I just want more. I want more of what God has for me. I want more. I don't want to just survive. I want to thrive. I want to be able to experience the goodness of God, right? I want to be able to just embrace everything that God has for me. But that's difficult to do when we are caught up in survival mode. When all we're doing is surviving, we're just focused on how am I going to do the next thing? How am I going to do this or how am I going to do that? When God wants us to be able to live not just life, but to have life and have it more abundantly. Now, listen, let me tell y'all this. When I think of life more abundant, I kind of think about it like yesterday. My cousin and I went to a place called Bourbon. I wanted some beignets. I knew I wanted some beignets. I had a taste from some beignets. So I searched for places near me that sell beignets, right? So they sell beignets, but they also are supposed to have some amazing food, right? It's Louisiana style. Listen, I was feeling my New Orleans coming out, right? But we went and I was like, okay, I want this appetizer, this appetizer, this appetizer. And then let me get a salad, right? I want some beignets. My cousin wanted some peach cobbler tart. Like we literally had a table like full of food. Like it was a spread. And it looked kind of crazy, but baby, can I tell you something? We enjoyed that food. To be able to eat the food that I wanted to eat without feeling like, oh, I can't have that. Now, listen, now I'll deal with the rest of it later, but I'm just telling you that yesterday evening, last night, we enjoyed the food that was set before us. And what we didn't enjoy, we sent back, right? So being able to just be with my cousin, like that was huge for me, just hanging out with her, spending time with her, being downtown with her. Then we met some other people, right? She met some other people who did spoken word, which she's a spoken word artist as well. So here we are coming out to, because I wanted some beignets, but it led to us meeting these other people, just having some great conversations, being able to really connect with some people. And now, check this out. This is the thing, because I need y'all to understand this. We're talking about ways that we can connect, ways that we can get together. Some of it was business, some of it was just pleasure, but all of it was necessary. God literally ordered our steps so that as we were living life and living life more abundantly, listen, we literally were crossing the paths of other people. Great morning, Kim. How are you, gorgeous? So, when we are stuck, listen, I remember being in Tampa in this amazingly beautiful city, with the beach up the road, like not far away, but rarely, if ever, went to the beach. Like I can probably count on one hand the times that I went to the beach. Right. That's crazy, but the beach was right there. I had access to the beach, but I just didn't go. Why? I was busy surviving. Like it wasn't a priority for me. But then what happened for me was that as I began to look at my life, I was like, there's got to be more to life than this. There's got to be more to life than um go to school, well, to my school, like go run to school, go to church, come home, like there's got to be more. And I made a decision that I was going to do more, even if I had to do more by myself. Like I made a decision that I was going to go to places where I wanted to eat, right? By myself, so that I could just experience it because I wanted to. I made a decision that I was going to be in atmospheres that I wanted to be in, with people who were like-minded, because I wanted it. Now we make sometimes things a big production. We make it a difficult thing, but sometimes you just got to make a decision and act on it. You got to make a decision and move. You got to make a decision and show up. I'm so excited because my auntie and I are going to get pedicures this morning. I've been needing to go get a pedicure, had it on my agenda. I've been in about four different cities where I needed to get a pedicure and still hadn't gotten that pedicure. Well, this morning, my aunt and I are going to get pedicures. Listen, I need that. Like my feet are like, hey, what you doing? I don't know what you done forgot about us. Listen, I need that. But also, I'm excited about the fellowship. I'm excited about spending time with my aunt doing girly stuff, right? Stuff that we didn't get to do when I was younger, stuff that we never had an opportunity to do. See, I'm living my life building memories, having experiences, as opposed to just checking things off a list. You've got to understand that if you don't do things in your life, that's not on anyone but you. You get to choose how you're living your life. Good morning, Daddy. I love you. Y'all, I love my daddy. Don't tell him though, because he's so spoiled. Don't tell him. Don't tell him I love him, but I do. So when we're talking about living life, stop surviving. Stop just getting by. Stop doing the bare minimum and make a decision to truly live your life fully, all out. Yes, Tashana. Self-care is key to living life abundantly. Absolutely. You got to take care of you. It's so funny because when you're a parent, especially a mother, people are quick to say that you're selfish when you do things for yourself. They're quick to say you're selfish when your focus is not everybody else. But listen, call me selfish, call me what you want to, but you ain't gonna call me stuck in the house and I'm in the house stuck, bored in the house and I'm in the house bored. That's what you're not going to call me. I'm going to live my life. I was reading a post of a friend of mine, and it's so funny how you can have people who play a role in your life and they're like almost like celebrity status. And then you meet them and they become like a real person in your life. So I was reading a post, and my girl has been under attack. So, be praying for her. Um, and it was oh my goodness, now this is so crazy. Why can I not think of her name right now? mm, 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 mm. I can't even think of the lady's name right now. I can't believe it, Jesus. So look, hey sissy, how are you? Good to see you. Oh my God, she sings gospel music. She sings the song Holy. Oh, so holy. You are holy. Oh, so holy. What a privilege and an honor to worship at your throne. Y'all know her, Lisa McClendon. So Lisa McClendon, I remember listening to her music when I was going through some difficult times, right? I'm going through difficult times and I'm listening to her music. Her music was amazing. It took me through so much. When I moved to Tampa, Florida, I actually met Lisa. Lisa became someone, in my circle, in my sphere. We didn't spend a lot of time together. We weren't always out together, but she came to my school. She talked to the kids. She and I've conversed. I've done things for her. Like we're connected, okay? And she was talking about something, and this is really important, and I can really relate to it. Someone had posted something about her because she's dating. And so often, particularly as Black women, I think we're not taught how to date. We're quick to get in relationships, which is why, we find ourselves sometimes in relationships and marriages that don't last, because we're quick to get in relationships because we don't want to be seen as being in the streets, right? So we don't know how to date just to date just to have fun, date just to um see, is this it? Like, it's always such a rush to be in relationship. And I didn't realize how much so until recently. Like, I don't like, let me say, I'm embracing my singleness, but my preference is marriage. Like, I prefer to be a wife than to just date, right? But what God has been doing is showing me the significance and the importance of being able to date. Now, I know there are people who will say, well, you should just wait for your mate. He's going to show up, he's going to find you. But if you in your house and the only place you be is in your house or on your job or in the church, where he finding you at? Like, where you at? Like, where he at? Where you at? Right? So one of the things that I committed to doing was being in spaces that I want to be in, because I want to be with someone who wants to be in the kind of spaces I want to be in. So anyway, someone had put a post up about how many men are you going to run through, right? Because she's dating, right? It reminds me of the Lori Harvey situation. Y'all, men can date. Women, women can't date. If women date, you a hoe, right? Just because you're dating doesn't mean you're sleeping with everyone that you're dating, right? You're dating, that means you go out on what dates, right? So she was being attacked by this person, and she was talking about having Black men in her life who show her how she wants to be treated, whether it ends up as a friendship or a business partnership, or you do business together, or you end up in a relationship. And it's so interesting. I just was having this conversation with a gentleman last night. I said, listen, I said, I'm not like trying to force anything. I'm not trying to make anything be something, but I'm open to what happens. I'm open to what comes. But what I am doing is enjoying meeting people and then just figuring out, okay, God, what is this person's in my life? Person's role in my life? What is my role in their life? Like, what is this, right? What is this about? And sometimes it's just meeting good people. Sometimes it's just having an opportunity to speak life to someone, to give someone a compliment, things like that. It's amazing how little we do those things. But I'm not going to live my life in a way that works for everybody else but doesn't work for me. So I was reading her response to the person's post, and it was so on point, because we wonder why the divorce rate is so high in the church. The divorce rate, I believe, is so high in the church, is that we push people into marriages before they know each other or before they figured out who they even are. I was talking about someone who was 21 and talking about getting married. At 21, I didn't know who I was. At 21, I didn't know what I needed. I think I got married somewhere between 23 and 25. I don't even remember, y'all. But I was not the person I am today. So ideally, you grow together, but sometimes that's not what happens. Good morning, April. Good morning, Latoya. So we have to understand that the thief, the enemy, comes to steal, kill, and destroy. Jesus said that he came to give life and life more abundant. Listen, that more abundant, even just that life, right? To know that we have life and life is for living. We get so consumed with being perfect that we don't live our lives. And you think that gives God joy? Like, what joy do you think God gets out of you not living your life because you're afraid that you're going to move wrong? You're going to do something wrong. You're going to have a wrong thought. Like, listen, he knows that we're human. That's why the blood is so important. That's why Jesus' sacrifice is so important. That's why we've got to understand that his grace is so important. Like, if it's just about the law, we're in trouble. We're in big trouble. But see, living life and being able to live life more abundantly is being able to embrace the experiences of life. And I'm not saying go out here and just do any and everything, just sin recklessly. I'm not saying that. So What are we doing? Afraid to live, but also afraid to die. So you and I get it. We want to just be in alignment. Yes, back in the day, they married at 14, 15 years of age. Those times were different. And even then, some of those marriages didn't last long. I agree, dating is important. Yes. You all, we've got to stop trying to make people hurry up and get married. And listen, I'm telling you, I love marriage. I love being married. I love being a wife, but I don't want to be a wife to the wrong man again. Right. And I'm not saying that something was wrong with those men. What I'm saying is, for the woman that I am now, like I have a much better idea of what I need now and going forward for the destiny that God has laid before me. At 20 something, I didn't know anything about my destiny. I didn't know anything about where God was taking me. Listen, if I be honest, listen, God wasn't the primary consideration when I was living my life. Like he just wasn't. So even those times when he was, and I remember very clearly getting married because I didn't want to have sex outside of marriage, right? I wanted to do right. I wanted to live right. And I got married. And I got married so that I would not be having sex outside of marriage. That is not a good reason to get married. And the sex was trash. That's another story. It's another story. How do you do that? How do you get married so that you don't have sex outside of marriage and the sex is trash and you don't have sex on your wedding night? That's craziness. See, that's the craziness that we do, right? Well, maybe y'all don't do, but that's the craziness that I've done, right? Trying to be right, trying to live right, trying to look right, right? Trying to, be who I felt like I needed to be. Good morning. You good? Auntie, what you doing? Yeah, I love my auntie. So we've got to understand that um, it's in not just in what we do, it's in the motivation for what we do that we've got to examine. I'm living my life fully. And some people will get it, some people won't, some people it'll offend, some people it won't. Like, but that's not my issue. That's people's issue. At the end of the day, I am only responsible for me. Now, that's to an extent because I know that as a leader, like there are people who watch me, people who follow me, but this is always my thing that I tell people. This is why you have to have a relationship with God for yourself. What one person can do and get away with it, another person can't. And that's just the reality. And I look at my kids and I would tell them all the time, just because your friends can do this and get away with it doesn't mean you can. Listen, God moves differently with different people, and you've got to figure out, God, who am I? And what is it that you have for me to do? And what does living life and living it more abundantly look like for me? I just know this. My abundant living is being able to enjoy my family, to travel. I know I said I wanted to travel. I didn't know that my travel was gonna be by car across the country almost. But I'm embracing it because it has been enjoyable. Even with the driving, like I promise y'all, when I was in Tampa, I did not want to drive, but something has happened and like I enjoy it. So when I take a 6 hour, 7 hour drive, it doesn't destroy me, weigh me down, tear me down, like none of that. Like I take the drive and it's me and God on a journey. And it gives me opportunity to commune with him, to enjoy his presence. And it may be that I'm listening to music or something is playing, or it may be that I'm just talking to him, but whatever it is, I'm enjoying my life. Don't spend your life surviving life. Spend your life living life. And not just living it, but living it more abundantly. Don't allow people to put you in a box that they're not going to be able to sustain for you. Don't allow yourself to make decisions for the sake of appearances, or for the sake of not sinning, right? Because I'm going to tell you this, and I don't want you all to take it wrong, but I want you to hear what I'm saying. Trying to figure out how to say this one. Don't mess nobody else's life up trying to be um okay, let me just say it. Y'all know it's me, so I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna say it. Don't hurry up and get married so that you can legally have sex, only to then have to legally have a divorce because the marriage was to someone that you were not supposed to be married to. Y'all don't do that. Don't do that. Do not do that. It is better to have discipline of your body. But if you can't, don't just get married. Marriage is a commitment, it is a covenant. And I know some people may say, well, you've been married 5 times. It doesn't seem like you recognize that, but I do recognize it. And now I'm even more aware of it and even more aware of the significance of it and more aware of what it's really about. Listen, we get married for lots of different reasons, but I want to get married because I've met my purpose mate, my purpose partner, my mission mate, that we can do life and kingdom together. Not life in church, not life in religion, but life and kingdom together so that we can enjoy one another's company, so that we can travel and impact lives, so that we can um, just enjoy each other. Like that's important too. But most importantly, that our relationship would bring glory to God, that it would give our children an opportunity to see what a healthy relationship looks like. Sometimes our kids miss that because they see the trauma of our relationships, but they never get to see what a healthy relationship looks like. And having a healthy relationship, if there's been trauma, doesn't mean that you got to get a new spouse. Sometimes it just means that you guys have to reboot and make a decision and then build that healthy relationship so that your kids can see that not everything that's broken at one point has to end. Okay. Look, I'm getting ready to go live my life and live it more abundantly. I pray that you do the same. As we are taking this journey called life, there is so much that stands before us, so many opportunities, so many possibilities. And the reality is sometimes we miss it because we're so focused on rules, laws, and regulations instead of focused on loving the one who created us. If you love him and let him love you, anything that needs to come out of you, listen, I'm telling you, it will come out because he who began a good work in you is faithful and just to bring it to completion until the coming of Christ Jesus. Don't feel like you got to do it all and you got to do it all right now in this moment. Know that God's got you and you're going to work through it and he's going to get you through it. And when you get to the other side, you may not even remember how you got there, but you'll be there. Listen, if you guys want to sow into the ministry, sow into what it is that we're doing, I'm doing, Cash App, $ DRV Walters, or PayPal.me/DRV Walters. And know this, God's got greater for you. Don't limit yourself because of what it looks like right now. Tap in and don't tap out for your purpose, for your destiny, and watch what God does in your life. Hey, Summerlin, I love you too. Beautiful. You guys have an amazing and incredible Saturday. I'll be back a little later today. Y'all are going to see me. Prepare to be sick of me. I love you guys. Be blessed. Mwah.